Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ask Me Monday series. The last one was really nice. You liked it. I got so many questions. So let's dive right into it. But before we dive into it, you said I should zoom in. So I'm zoomed in again. And in the next videos, I will try some different angles in my apartment because we have some cool angles I found out. And I saw other YouTubers have such cool angles in the videos, and maybe I will build a YouTube wall, which I will always use as my background and then record in front of the wall. So let me know how you like those angles, which I will present to you in the future. So without further ado, let's dive into your questions. I think 20 minutes, you said it's a good time, so we will stick to it. And I go to my timer, 20 minutes, just started now. Let's go. Where are your questions? Sorry, here, let's go. How do you earn money? Just kidding. How do I earn money? With mostly so far my ebook, because as you saw in my minimalistic video, if you haven't seen it, then check it out. I live fairly minimalistic, and so I don't need much money to just be happy and have everything I need, because I don't go so often to the movies. I don't really go out to eat and spend so much money. I mostly only spend, the monthly stuff like my gym membership and then going grocery shopping every week, but that's fairly it. And then on Amazon, getting new equipment, I need to produce cool stuff. Like recently I invested in my drone, but that's it. So I almost can only make a living off my ebook alone, and soon my second ebook will launch, my Vegans training plan, and then soon my app will come out, and then soon our merch will come out. So yeah, that is nice. So right now I can make a living of it, and soon it will be no problem. So that's it. Live minimalistic and have low needs that makes you happy, and then you don't need much money to have everything you need. And that is just a great feeling that I can already sustain it with, for example, only my ebook, and soon easily sustain my lifestyle. Not like, yeah, I need a car, I need a cool watch, and I have so many contracts, and to pay them all, I need to work my ass off with stuff I don't want, and then you live miserable and impress people with the stuff you don't like, and that's just a vicious cycle I don't want to be part of. So I keep it minimalistic. I'm just happy, grateful with my body, and what's the need of having 1,000 shirts? I can only wear one at a time, so a couple shirts, all I need. Next question. I've got a few questions. Number one, do you ever get tired from standing, squatting in your apartment and wish you own a chair to sit on? No, because on a chair, it's not relaxing. You're not in a healthy position, and you can't relax on a chair. So I have here lots of positions to be actively relaxed. I don't walk on my treadmill all day. I just walk there for 10K, not for 10K meter, no, for 10,000 steps. And that is only about 2 hours, so super quickly. And squatting here just for my videos and stuff, but often I also just lay down here, make it really comfortable, take the pillows and the blankets and put it there, and just work like this, or on my belly and work like this, and lots of active, relaxing positions, but not these where you sit on a chair and you have a bad posture and it's not really regenerating this position. Also our pallet bed in the bedroom, it's portable, so we just move it in the sun, and I lay in the sun, read in my book, laying down. I have lots of passive positions where I can just relax and everything loosen up but still work. But I mix it up, because the best position you can be in is the position you're next in. So I lay down for half an hour, and then I go on my treadmill for an hour, and then I squat for 20 minutes, and then we have this ball and I knee on it and work like this. So I just switch it up. Then I use the standing desk, and I adjust it to my energy level and just move my DNA. I naturally, you have this urge after half an hour to an hour, you want a new position, and I just have a big repertoire of positions which are healthy, so I just rotate them according to my energy level. Next question. So you said you have a couple one. Let's get into your next question. What do you think about aluminum in antiperspirants? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's this one. And do you use them? No, I don't, because I don't need it. It's if you eat healthy, then you don't smell. You smell naturally because you don't have so much acid eating all the meat, the dairy that needs to, you use your organ to get rid of it. No, you eat healthy, you eat fairly basic and alkaline, and thus your sweat doesn't smell, or at least doesn't smell as bad. So it's really neutral. So I don't need it. I don't like the smell. It's just more acids on my body, and it's just acids plus acids leads to being alkaline. No, it leads just to more acid in your body, and I don't need it. It doesn't smell good, this artificial smell. So I don't have any. I didn't use it in my entire life. I maybe tried it once from a friend. I was like, oh, why would anyone use this? Just eat healthy and you have a natural odor. Is YouTube, Instagram, ebooks your main source of income? It is, as I answered in the first question. So if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, then go back to the first question. I have two questions. How many calories would you recommend for a teen girl to gain weight on? Also, I've been wanting to get into weightlifting. Nice, good for you. But don't know how or where to start. Do you have any tips for beginners? So for a teen girl, I don't know, because I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know how active you are during the day. And these are really big lifestyle choices which determine how many calories you need per day. Because two exact persons, one weigh 50 kilogram and one weigh 70 kilogram, and they have the same daily activity. The person who weighs 20 kilograms more burns a lot of more calories, because imagine yourself wearing a weight vest, 20 kilograms, and doing all the activities in a day. You would burn a lot more calories. So that's a big factor, how much you weigh. And then another big factor is how active you are. One day you ran a marathon, and on another day you just lay on the couch, and on one day you burn 4,000 calories, and on the other day you just burn 2,000 calories. So what is your average lifestyle like? Are you fairly active? Are you fairly sitting on a desk? So these are important factors which I don't know, so I can't make an estimation. How to get into weightlifting? Please consider my ebook about training, which is coming so soon, and then you just know what's up and make gains and don't waste another day in the gym. Awesome video. I have been a vegan for 3 months. Good for you. Now I am loving it. Nice. My question is, how do you transfer to not using leather or any other animal products in the clothing industry? For example, leather, shoes, woolen, jumpers, etc. I love your channel and I hope you grow big. Thank you. Me too. Grow big vegan gains and grow big subscriber wise. What was your question? So how to avoid animal products in the clothing industry? Simple. You inform yourself what are animal materials, and then you just don't buy them anymore. And mostly it's obvious, like you see, oh, this looks like leather. Let me check, is it leather or is it fake leather? And then if it's leather, you just don't buy it. Is it wool? Is it like crocodile leather or something? And you don't buy anything that contains animal materials, like the obvious stuff like leather and fur. And then mostly when it's a normal price and a cheap price, then it's mostly polyester and stuff. So everything synthetically made or out of plants. And so it's quite easy. You just check the materials. Like when I buy something at Amazon, for example, and I'm not quite sure, is there some leather in it? I just Command F, whatever it's on your keyboard, and then I type in leather, and if nothing pops up, okay, there's nothing, or materials, and then I check, is there something with leather or stuff? And yeah, I wouldn't buy anything with leather or other animal materials. It's just a horrible industry I don't want to support and I don't want to wear. And if you have something with leather, no worries, just keep it or sell it, but don't just throw it away. Just, you already have it, so don't make a big deal out of it. I think I don't owe anything anymore with leather, but the stuff I didn't had, I think, anything with leather, but just keep it and don't make a big deal out of it and just avoid it in the future. It's really simple. Just read a couple of articles and then just check the material. I mean, how often do you go out and buy a new belt or something? Not so often. And when you do, just check before. And there's so many blend and synthetically made materials you can go and they just look just as good and even better, I think. Next question. Great video. Could you please advise me? I always feel hungry on vegan diet. I woke up at 5 a.m. 6 days on a week and go to sleep at 10 p.m. How many snacks and meals would you recommend, or any other tips you could give? Thank you. And so kind, the vegan sweet potato replied with an awesome reply. It could be because you're not eating enough calories. Vegan food by default has less calories than animal products, which means you need to eat much more than you used to. Another tip is to fill up on high fiber foods like veggies and potatoes. In fact, potatoes have been found to be the most satiating food out there. That is so true. The last tip I have is to bring snacks with you when you're out, so that way if you get hungry you have vegan foods readily available. I hope it helps. I couldn't have answered it better. Thank you so much for this great reply, the vegan sweet potato. I love it. Hi, great video. I'm watching you from Martinique, Caribbean island. That's great. What do you think about raw vegan diets? Why would you go raw vegan? I don't know, because raw and cooked both offer so many benefits, and why don't get the best out of both worlds? Like some veggies and some foods are just healthier eaten cooked, like tomatoes. If you cook tomatoes, you increase the lycopene by 35%. So cooked tomatoes are healthier than raw potatoes. On the other hand, raw bell pepper has much more vitamin C than cooked bell pepper, because vitamin C, it's already killed at low temperatures, like around 40 degrees it starts to die. So raw bell pepper is a lot healthier than cooked bell pepper. Carrots, on the other hand, are healthier cooked, because you increase the beta carotene in carrots if you cook them. So I would eat them cooked, but I also eat them raw. You know, I get the best out of both worlds, what I feel. And often if you only eat raw, you would miss out on those healthy groups like legumes and whole grains, because you can only eat them raw if you sprout them, but then only in small quantities, and it's such a hassle. And if you cook them, you get so many nutrients quickly and have abundance to these big groups like legumes and whole grains, which are a big part of my day-to-day diet, and I don't want to miss out on them and the nutrients and the calories and the protein and everything in there. So I don't see a point to go raw. I get the best out of both worlds, but you know, there haven't been so many studies on raw diets, because so many people claim amazing benefits out of them, and what can I say, they just look healthy and the blood looks good. You know, Fully Raw Christina, she did a blood test a while ago and it was great. So, but she, you know, she really hacks the stuff out of it. She lives at a place, I think she lives in Hawaii, where she has fresh fruits and tropical fruits in abundance. And for example, here in Germany, in the winter, I would only eat bananas and oranges and some greens, and it was really, I could eat more. I didn't inform myself about eating only raw because I don't see the point, especially here in Germany, but I would be open to try raw just to get the experience, you know, 4 months or so, just to see how I feel. But in Germany, I don't think I will do it. Much rather in a tropical place, you know, where I don't even want cooked food because I have all the fresh mangoes, the papayas, the watermelons all day. But you know, here that stuff is just expensive, it's often not in good quality, and then yeah, so I would get the best out of both worlds. And if you live in a tropical place, then you can consider it, but I don't see a point in it, because cooked beans, cooked whole grains, they're not unhealthy, they're super healthy. If you look at the blue zones where people live the longest, they all eat legumes and whole grains, they have so many health benefits, so I don't see a reason to miss out on them, and they taste so good and they make me so satisfied, and especially when it gets colder, some warm potatoes, some nice porridge, I don't see a reason to miss out on them because they're super healthy and super satisfying, but I would certainly try it in a tropical place just to have the experience, because some claim amazing benefits out of it, but often it's also a lot the placebo. You know, what you think will manifest. Next question. Thank you for your awesome and educational videos. I went vegan about half a year ago. Good for you. And it was a really good decision for me. I almost only eat green, yellow light foods. So nice. Now I have many friends who are vegetarian because of the animals. Nice to hear that. They don't know a lot about the health aspects, etc. Some of them are even iron deficient and their doctors recommend them to eat meat again for the iron. What are your thoughts on vegetarians? Is it enough? Yes, it is enough if you eat iron-rich foods, and I have 2 tips for you to boost your iron absorption. So, first of all, animal iron is easier absorbable, but that's not a good thing. That's a really bad thing, because it just zip right through our intestinal barrier and we just absorb everything. And too much iron is really harmful. And most people who eat animal products and eat a lot and are kind of obese, they have too much iron stored because your body has no mechanism to rid yourself of the excess iron if it's stored. And animal product the iron just zips right through. Whereas plant iron, your body can regulate much better. If you are low in iron and you eat iron-rich foods, then you absorb them super well. But if your iron storage is high and you eat plant foods with iron, then you don't absorb them so well because your storage is already up. So you keep your iron storage in balance and you don't get too much if you eat plant foods. But you have to eat plant foods which are high in iron to get enough. But it is super easy. Just eat iron-rich foods. Like legumes are super rich in iron, like soybeans or other soy products like tofu, other beans, other lentils and chickpeas and stuff. Then whole grains like whole grain pasta and stuff, other whole grains, quinoa, buckwheat, millet. Seeds are a nutritional powerhouse and also contain lots of iron, like pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds. Oh no! And sunflower seeds, other seeds have lots of iron. Then nuts also contain lots of iron. Vegetables have so much iron, especially dark leafy green vegetables. Broccoli has lots of iron, so just eat out of these groups and you get all the iron you need. And now 2 tips how to boost your iron absorption. Tip number 1, eat vitamin C rich foods to your iron rich meals. Vitamin C rich foods like fruits and vegetables, like squeeze a lemon over your big bowl of pasta and beans and tomato sauce and you boost the absorption of iron up to 5 times. So like a lemon, grapefruit, a kiwi, broccoli, they all contain lots of vitamin C. And if you eat like broccoli, it's a superfood. It is high in iron and in vitamin C, so you automatically boost the absorption up to 5 times. Or just drink an orange juice to your porridge and you boost the absorption. So eat vitamin C rich foods to your meals and you boost the absorption up to 5 times. And at the same time, avoid caffeine rich foods, caffeine rich beverages and alcohol while you eat, because they slow down the absorption. Like green tea, it's great for you, but it slows down your iron absorption. So drink your green tea between meals, but not during meals, because you don't want the iron absorption to slow down. And if you drink coffee, then drink it in the morning on an empty stomach or after your meal. So before and after an hour between your meals, and you're totally safe. So don't eat alcohol, don't drink alcohol and caffeine-rich beverages during meals. Eat vitamin C-rich foods to your iron-rich meals and just eat enough out of those categories. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices and other plant-based products you enjoy, and you get all the iron you need. In fact, on my German channel, someone asked the same question, I answered it, and on the next week, another girl, she said that her iron storage was so high in a dangerous position, and the doctors like, oh, they were worried about it, and then she started to eat plant-based and her iron level got in a normal level because she ate plant foods, not the heme iron, the animal iron, which just zips through your intestinal barrier, but the non-heme iron out of plants, your body can regulate much better. So go to the plants, don't let those heme iron just zip through your intestinal barrier, skip those animal products, and your iron level will be perfect if you eat iron-rich foods and just eat enough and whole plant foods. Anyways, I'm ranting here. Thank you so much for your question. It was a blast. And I see you next week on another angle, and we try some cool YouTube backgrounds and you give me feedbacks and new questions down below. Thanks for watching. Peace out.